Hello, everyone, and welcome to Trace Free webinar series. Today's webinar addresses the topic of how to boost digitization and integration of new technologies in the tourism sector. Before we start, I would like to dedicate a quick moment for housekeeping. Kindly note that the webinar will be recorded, so please feel free to keep your camera on or off. We will be able to share a link with you after the webinar is complete. We welcome you to revisit the content yourself and share it with your colleagues. The last 20 minutes is dedicated to Q&As. You're welcome to use the chat box throughout. We will be collecting questions and addressing them to the speakers. You can also click the microphone icon to unmute yourself and interact with the speakers during the Q&A session. I will start by giving you a brief overview of Project Trace, and then I will introduce our three inspiring guests. So I will be sharing my screen. Okay, so today we are speaking under the framework of Project Trace. Trace stands for SMEs Transition for a European Circular Tourism Ecosystem, and it is co-funded by the European Union as part of the overall post-COVID recovery strategy for a sustainable and resilient European tourism ecosystem. This project is composed by a project consortium. We are 7 partners in this project coming from 5 different European countries, and the project has the duration of 30 months. The Project Trace aims to enhance skills and capacities of European SMEs towards a more resilient, sustainable, and circular tourism economy. At the beginning of the project, an open call was launched for European SMEs coming from our 5 partner countries to participate in the call in order to access the training, but also the possibility of accessing a grant. These SMEs come from different categories from the tourism and hospitality sector. These 100 SMEs that were selected from our 5 partner countries will have the possibility to access through a third-party financing, a fitness check, preparation and application for green certification, implementation of environmental footprint methods, upskilling and reskilling, boosting innovation, improving uptake of innovative sustainable solutions, developing sustainable business strategies, and developing socially sustainable tourism models, considering the impact and participation of local communities. Our program, our Trace program, is not only open to our 5 SMEs from our 5 countries, but we have actually an awareness program which is open to a wider public, and this free series of webinars is under the framework of this awareness program. So today we are hosting the 3rd webinar, and we still have 2 more webinars to offer in the few coming months. I would like now to present our 3 inspiring speakers, starting with Géraldine Bueken. Géraldine is experienced strategist, producer, and scriptwriter. She works, but she also curates Stereopsia, which is the World Immersive Forum. With her European label XR for Heritage, she advises decision makers and cultural institutions in their digital policies, through the design and implementation of large format immersive social experience for the preservation and enhancement of heritage. She heads also in Casablanca the Digital Experiences Department of the audiovisual production company INT AJ 22212. Our second speaker today is Fabio Viola. Fabio is a gaming pioneer. He leverages the power of game thinking, creates and designs engaging experiences. Fabio serves as gamification designer since 2011, where he supports worldwide public institutions and private companies to achieve successful metrics through the power of gamification. He is mentioned among the most influential gamification designers in the world and have been awarded with the prize Lezioni di Design during the Fuori Salone in Milan 2018. Our third speaker today is Anna Aleksic. Anna is a seasoned event planner and entrepreneur. She completed her undergraduate and master's studies in tourism management at the Faculty of Economics University in Belgrade, Serbia. She's currently at her third year of PhD studies in tourism at the University of Novi Sad in Serbia. She started her career in the hotel industry. While working in the Best Western hotel chain, she won the Best Sales Manager Award in 10 Central European countries and 5 consecutive quality awards. She started her company for event organization and consulting in tourism and hospitality, Event Planner, in 2016. Since then, she has hosted the gathering of many companies and welcomed more than 40,000 guests. She participated in many development and innovation projects and destination promotion in foreign markets. Since 2021, she has also been working as a coordinator for the development of tourism in protected areas in Serbia. I would like now to stop sharing my screen, and without further ado, I would like to give the floor to you, Géraldine, to illustrate how augmented heritage enhances tourism experiences in Brussels. Géraldine, you are more than welcome, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ruba. Hello, everybody. Do you hear me?
Yes,
yeah,
we hear you perfectly.
So, okay, I will share my screen. So welcome. So thanks for the invitation. So I will take a few minutes to explain what we do here in Belgium. So the topic of my keynote is how augmented heritage could enhance tourism experience here in the heart of Brussels, in the heart of Europe. So to speak about this, I will first introduce the next event we will be exactly on this topic next month. So we will start with an augmented reality festival in exactly 1 month here in Brussels. So you are all invited to be there. It will be in Tour Taxi with Printemps Numérique. So this is a good example of what we do. So first, who we are. XR for Heritage is an association, so it's launched by an association we are called Trois Plumes. And our program, XR for Heritage, is one mission to serve heritage, to make it more inclusive, more educative, and to keep it. So to do this, we use new technological, and we make bridges between innovative professionals from two fields, the social field and the technological field. So we connect world who don't understand each other. It's most of the time where we are working. So first, perhaps because I don't know your knowledge in digital, So in XR, when we are calling the XR world, it means extended realities. It's like a broad world to include augmented realities, but also immersive technologies. And we use it like a generic words to speak about all of it. So the new way to tell stories is what we do. So what is the link with the tourism and the cultural tourism? First, we can speak about cultural experience. It's like to create new destination. And for me, the first point is speak about to precise what about. First, it's a priority for us to help tourism professionals to understand the diversities of experience we can build with these new technologies. So here it's quite example. We have like a multisensorial walk with sound. We have also some new exhibition, some gaming, urban gaming, entertainment and exhibition. So the idea is to first to have a good understanding of what is it. It's one part of our job is to make inspiration in education to help territories to use these new technologies. And after to understand, there is the second step is to understand that we can use different medium for each experience. So we can use some medium like the large-scale audience have, like the iPhone or digital iPad, but we can use also more technical device. It asks a lot of question and new knowledge to be able to use it in outdoor spaces, but also in some existing cultural destination. So perhaps to give you a first idea of where professionals on the tourism field have to use this kind of tools, we have to explain the starting point of our activities. For us, we start with some problem. The first problem is that we observe that in our recent cities, we have a lot of nationalities, identities, and the city don't fit in with these diversities. So for us, it's a good challenge to make the cohesion and to make the city more inclusive to change this point. The second challenge is the sustainability, the environmental impact. We know that the large-scale tourism experience start to be criticized. So we have to make like a good balance between events that we do in physical place and events that we can do virtually. The third point is more on the heritage. We know that the territories is linked with our stories, but most of the time that people walk in streets, they don't see these stories. So our work is also to help to make visible invisible information. And the last point is the challenge of the skills and talents. We know that this digital transformation asks new talents, and we know it needs also understanding of the kind of competence that the professional stakeholder have to bring in their activities. So our solution for this kind of problem, we have the first point is to introduce in the territories new narrative with statues, augmented statues and avatars, and also digital experience. Also new tourist format. We connect metaverse experience with physical experience to make the audience broader. After, the idea is to make the cultural destination more attractive. So we have to transform a heritage like a playground to help people to be curious of this and to be ambassador of their own cities. The last point is the training. We have to develop trainings and new competence to help the sector to go in the good way. So to speak about our activities, we connect we connect culture, tourism, and media sectors with new technologies to engage massively young people around good objective for the future. So it's the way we are working. We are thinking that the new technology could help to be impactful on this action. So to lead our activities here in Brussels, and I think it's the same in all your cities, it was really needing to have activation of collective intelligence, because we see that there is a lot of people who normally don't work together, that they have to learn to know what the other do to be able to make a great smart cities. So it's the way we start here to connect artists with technologies, with trainer, with actor of territories, and also the citizen. So to go in this way, I would like to use the time I have to share some inspiring experience with you. I wait for Ruba to recall me if I'm too long. So please, Ruba, tell me if I have not too much time, but I will start. So first, I will share with you our first trailer of the kind of experience Heritage Leaks was a contest to see more inspiring immersive experience here in Brussels.
Rentrez chez vous. Interdiction formelle de boire de l'eau.
So I think I will end there, but it could give you a first idea of what I have in mind when I speak about digital experience. And to go further on this, I keep 5 examples of what we did the last 2 years. So the first one is we work with several museums to transform their place in interactive playgrounds. So I keep 2 examples of company who could be inspiring for you. Here in Belgium is Overton, and one of the winner of our last contest called Augmented, just to see the kind of stuff they do. I will end the sound. I can't both. So this is a more pedagogical side and solution. So they did this kind of stuff indoor and outdoor. So this is one of the activities we lead to help the connection between territories and the good studios or content creators. One other example, I will. So this is the kind of box that we can introduce in a museum. And also we did it in Brussels with Art Nouveau movement, architectural movement. They was working on the pattern, the historical pattern, inspiration of this movement, but some interactivity for the audience. So the second part of our activities, the kind of stuff we can do and we do here in Brussels, is we have a lab in Tour et Taxi, is the place where will be our festival. It's the more broader augmented realities galleries. We work with them to develop, to give voice to people who don't have. So we make visible in XXL character who were not visible in the official statues, the name of the street and stuff like that. The solution we use for this is an Italian solution, was called Over. It's really inspiring for you. It's a mapping of all the world. They make like digital twins. It helps us to geolocalize exactly the asset we want to broadcast in the street or also indoor. This is the kind of result we can have with their solution. So it's quite attractive to make some events. So the third kind of event is make visible the invisible. Is the example we did in Brussels. So the museum of the city center developed some urban walk to make visible the water that we can see now. So to help people to see under the street what it was before. So for this, I select two companies who can be inspiring for you. It was winner or last contest. So Invisar, they're in Ireland. So this solution is quite inspiring because it's really subtle. It helps us to give a voice with avatars like virtual guides. So I think it could be really useful to make destination where there is no building or something to see, like historical sites. And Gabinete, it's in Portugal, and they develop technologies really inspiring with an inclusive site. So they really are thinking of the diversity of the audience. So the problem of subtitles, but also for disabled people and stuff like that. So there is a lot of different applications, but what is interesting is start with the needs. To go after, we develop also the interactivity. Like this, it's a French company, really inspiring. We develop Les Fantômes. The idea is to invite audience to make some move, and after to showcase this in big on the building, in the streets, is the kind of social experience that digital could do. And after the last is the metaverse to connect real and virtual place. So we developed some connection with Africa Metaverse Museum to connect the existing pieces of museum here in Belgium inside a virtual world where gamers go, and the idea is to connect with the audience. So I finish. So thanks for your attention, and I will stay for the question at the end.
Thank you very much, Géraldine, actually, for this beautiful presentation. You actually introduced many interesting topics, especially the importance of narrating the story of the territory while using different mediums for different experiences, how to augment the digital experience, the metaverse, and the physical, and how also to enhance skills and talents, which is something very important at the European level, seeing that this is the year for skills. The fact of introducing different mediums for different experiences actually connects beautifully with our next speaker, because Fabio will be sharing with us experiences of how to boost digitization and integration of gamification in the tourism sector from his experience in Italy and abroad. Fabio, welcome, and the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me here at this webinar. I'm going to share my slides with you for the next 15 minutes, and I'd like to share my experiences from a game designer point of view. I spent most of my life creating commercial kind of video games, but in the last years, I've been honored to work with municipality, government, museums, theaters, using the power of video games in engaging new audiences. So let me start in a provocative way. I think that tourist destinations should start looking at Candy Crush, Minecraft, Assassin's Creed, but also Netflix, Spotify, Prime Video as models, but above all as rivals in their ability to reach, engage, transfer knowledge, retain, making loyalty, and even monetize new and even old audiences. So probably you are arguing, how come you think they are competitors, a museum or a territory with the video games? I think they are competitors in terms of timing, because right now, the very precious good in our life is the time, is the lack of time. So if I spend hours or day playing a video games or making marathons on the last TV series, it's no time I have at disposal for visiting a physical location. So why right now we are talking about gaming or gamification related to tourism sector? Because right now we have entire generations or 3 billion people that each year use video games. For video games, I mean console, PC, or even light mobile kind of games. And for extension, everyone in this webinar use some interactive media like social networks. So we have a lot of people that grew accustomed to extreme participation, personalization of the experience. They are used to be protagonists, and they feel a lot of engagement in their everyday digital lives. And so they are thinking that they need this even abroad, the video game sector. So this is the formula 3P, protagonist, personalization, and participation. So if we accept this kind of challenge, we are moving towards what we call multi-platform destination. So going behind the idea of digitizing the existing, and we can pave the way for processes that I call digital native. Today, a territory is no longer only composed of its physical extension, 1 kilometer, 3 kilometers, or 1,000 square meters for museums, but also of all the digital properties. So at the same time, a city is composed by their apps, or virtual reality, augmented reality, or video mapping, or artificial intelligence, or video games. So it's a lot much more complex than in the past, but this allowed to the resident and tourists to experience in an alternative, a different way, the experience before reaching a place, during or after having visited a place. So, in my opinion, we have 5 scenarios before to see some example. I split in the multi-platform destination in 5 scenarios. Scenario number 1 is the one where physical experiences are in place without any digital insertion. So a lot of places right now are working without any kind of digital support. Scenario number 2 is a minimum and not meaningful level of digital inclusion. For example, just a website or a QR code on some spots. Okay, so the physical experience is not changing at all, but we have an informative level of digital. Scenario number 3 is what I call properly digitation of physical experiences in the form of digital conforming copies. We create virtual tours, chatbot, or streaming live events, stuff like, or JPEG version of a masterpiece on a canvas, or OBJ file of a statue. They don't have any creative value, but of course can be helpful as archive or for accessibility purpose. But if you think digitization is just a technical conversion, it just create a copy without creating a new creative or a new economical ecosystem. Then we have the last 2 scenarios. They are what we are working with. So scenario number 4, native digital experiences that sometimes start from pre-existing premises, a territory, a museum, an artifact, but twist and rework them to become autonomous experiences. And last but not least, scenario number 5, it's what I properly call multi-platform destination, where physical and digital experiences are fully integrating, allowing visitors to interact both on-site and online. Different entry points for different audiences who will be able to experience not only as spectators, but I recognize a multi-platform destination when we work for the shift from the idea of spectator to the idea of spectator. So who is the spectator? Is the people, the resident or the tourist that want to be active and proactive. They can perform some physical, emotional, or intellectual action, and the content changes in real time, or at least in near real time. So entering in the case studies and how we can use the power of gaming for foster the touristic sector is, for example, what we call the game-based tourism. It's using commercial video games choose to set their stories in real places, contributing to the generation of deep cultural imagery. A video game tourism is born of people largely under 40 who discovered the existence of a place and decide to physically visit that place after having played the digital version. For example, one of the best examples is Assassin's Creed Saga. For example, the second chapter is set in the Italian Renaissance. So small town like Monteriggioni, here in Tuscany, the region where I live, experienced a huge increase in tourism in the last years. And right now, a small town of 3,000 inhabitants reached over 150,000 visitors per year. Let me share with you this small video.
The walled town of Monteriggioni is one of the most personal locations to Ezio, and as it turns out, one of the locations that Ubisoft took the most liberties with. The town is surprisingly small, and while the building architecture rekindles a small sense of the Ezio games, it's impossible to ignore the town's most glaring omission. The Villa Auditori, or anything resembling it, simply does not exist. The villa, of course, served as the base of operations for Ezio in AC2, as well as for the Modern Assassins in 2012. Another difference in the game is Cesare Borgia's attack on the town at the start of AC Brotherhood. I can't find any record of Cesare ever attacking Monteriggioni.
Okay, so I don't go further on this example. This is a commercial AAA games with high budget that decide to set their whole games and history inside the real cities, influencing the development of tourism in that area. So why we can create in the next future what we call game commissions that help territory to attract creative people that work on game design or in virtual reality or augmented reality kind of apps, pushing them to set their own private games or digital experiences in your territory. For example, according to this strategy, I worked with several museum cities or government right now in Lebanon, in Jordan, in Spain, of course, in Italy here. And for example, we published years ago a game called Father and Son. It became one of the first video games ever published by, in this case, an archaeological museum 7 years ago, becoming one of the leading case studies for the European Commission. And what happened with this game? I'm going to show you a short trailer, and then I want to explain you some insight from the downloads, the kind of audience and other data, and how it impacts the real tourism in that city in Naples. Few seconds, it starts, yeah. So basically, it's a narrative 2D games that brings the players from all around the world. The game is available in 12 languages, from Italian to Japanese, Chinese, Russian, etc., etc. And it's an unforgivable travel across different time period, but totally based on the city of Naples and on the Archaeological Museum of Naples. Right now, the game franchise that is available for free on App Store and Google Play crossed 5 million downloads. So just to compare, in the same amount of time, the museum had physically 1 million of visitors. The average age of players is around 30 years old, and 35% are female, and it could appears strange as insight, but only 7% of gamers come from Italy. The user base is pretty much worldwide, because when we use digital properties, worldwide is our audience. So it's pretty much strange to use digital stuff for local audiences, because we can reach 5-6 billions of people using, in this case, game distribution platforms, but it's the same for web-based platform and stuff like that. So we have to write stories according to this huge amount of audience, of course, and other data, over 80,000 public review available on App Store and Google Play. But I want to focus on one mechanic, one key action inside this product. Of course, you can play digitally the experience on your couch in China, for example, but in order to unlock extra in-game content, you have to checking in inside the museum. So we had more than 80,000 people from the video games converted in physical visitors. So people who arrived in Naples, who paid the entrance ticket at the museums in order to unlock extra content. And just imagine, even in terms of revenues, the entrance tickets at the museum is 15 euro. And so just multiply 80,000 for 15 euros. It's pretty much important for us as creative studio, create experiences that can be self-sustainable for the city or for the museum, because one of the main questions is who is gonna pay the project. And we demonstrate with this and other projects that some creative technologies can be self-sustainable. So at the start, we need some budget, but the project brings on the table more money that the ones has been invested, in this case, by a museum or a municipality. Just going on, from a single spot to a whole city, we started years ago a project called Play Alghero in the municipality of Alghero, here in Sardinia Island, here in Italy. Citizens and residents can access 10 games for free. It's a combination between physical games, digital games, and phygital games that allow them to discover the city in a new way, and even cultural sites. The project that has been funded by European Community has enabled the development of tourism outside the summer period, because Alghero is a seaside city, so usually we have tourists from June to September, and help to increase the number of cultural sites seen by each person. I'd like to share with you a small trailer. The voice is in Italian, but you can check the subtitles in English.
Hai mai pensato di poter vivere la tua vacanza come un'esperienza di gioco? Ad Alghero abbiamo rivoluzionato la visita dei nostri siti culturali creando percorsi, giochi urbani, videogiochi e installazioni interattive che ti faranno vivere un'esperienza unica, innovativa e divertente. Potrai imbatterti in strane forme colorate e installazioni urbane che ricordano i giochi del passato. Durante la tua esplorazione avrai a disposizione un antico quaderno di viaggio e altri curiosi strumenti che riveleranno storie e aneddoti della cultura locale. Un album di figurine ti porterà indietro nel tempo e attraverso la realtà aumentata indosserai i panni di un detective alla ricerca di indizi. Nell'antica torre di San Giovanni ti immergerai in uno scenario sottomarino digitale e interattivo, dove i più piccoli potranno colorare creature marine e vederle prendere vita.
Games that are available for free when a tourist land at the airport, when the tourists reach the train station, or when a tourist goes on in a breakfast or in an hotel. So different points where you can take for free the access point at all these experiences. So just 1 minute left. So I'm going to close my talk with another theory. I mentioned it before, the spectator, but we are moving towards a society made by what I call spectator. Who are the spectators? Are people that want to create or co-create the content. They want to be part of the process, not just pushing leaves or just touching a display or stuff like that, but they want to create together with the creative professional people some kind of experience. And so I close with the use of Minecraft. Probably you know this video game, but it can be helpful even for touristic purpose, recreating cities and spreading the maps. And I just close with this example. Okay, I just made an error with including the video, so you can proceed, but we are using it to recreate in scale 1-to-1 some cities, helping new generation to approach by remote and experiencing that place in an engaging way. So thank you, and let's see later for the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fabio, for this thought-provoking intervention, actually, where you highlighted the importance of using the power of video games in order to broaden the spectrum of public and private interventions in terms of reaching, engaging, retaining, but also monetizing and transferring knowledge. I found it very interesting the fact that you paid a lot of attention to how to pave the way to processes towards the digital natives, of course. And you ended coherently your presentation by speaking about the Spect author, where people are co-creators of the content you are presenting through the games. So thank you very much for this really inspiring presentation. And now I would like to give the floor to you, Anna, where you can make the link between all this rich offer of immersive experiences and gaming and many other inspiring experiences that you can offer the tourists through a platform. So Anna, the floor is yours.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank Ruba for inviting me to be the part of the TRACE program. And I will be more than happy to share with you some experience that I actually gained thanks to Ruba, because one of the projects that I finished in Serbia was actually led by a big culture project that Ruba was in charge. So I wanted to share with you some more advantages from the mobile apps because we had opportunity to be the part of the projects for developing of destinations in Serbia. So we had one project in North Serbia, which is one mountain and spa, Fruška Gora, and one project in East Serbia, which is actually undeveloped area with one bicycle, but the part of the one bicycle route. So actually the mobile apps are needed for all destinations, developed and undeveloped. And they are more than welcome, and they are actually our the using of the latest advantages, we made it easier for travelers to explore the world conveniently and comfortably. So I will not read and tell you more about statistics that I already found for you. I will share some practical knowledge that and some problems that we had during the implementation of these applications. So I hope there will be some of these companies that are listening this program that will be more than glad to introduce the application. So as we all know, the applications are used by more than 85% of the tourists, and they are helping before arrival to destination, because they exist to help tourists to plan the trip and to explore which destination and attractions are suited actually to fit their needs. Also, it helps to improve the experience in the destination, which of course leads to the more visits and and to the more profit for destination. So we have here some information about how many people is using the application and what are the advantages for the destination. But speaking of and that, of course, what I mentioned, that all destinations are more than welcome to have the mobile application. But when we are talking about small and medium enterprises which are listening this presentation, of course, you are not a tourist organization or some government company, and you need to consider what is your benefit from one of these applications. So there are some steps that actually you need to follow when planning some of application, and you need to find your place in this application, because you can benefit from application, although if you are some small attraction or you have restaurant or some small winery in some undeveloped area, but also you need to consider to be the part of the one application. But if you are the one who are making it, you need to consider, of course, the financing and the way how to profit from the application. So here are some steps that you will, of course, pass during planning the application. So first, what you need to consider if you will introduce application or web platform. So in East Serbia, we had introduced the application because after the market research, which is of course the first stage, we realized that the most of the tourists are bicycle tourists because they are part of the bicycle Eurovelo 6 route. So there is no internet in all parts of the routes that we have. So that's why we put the tables, which are during the whole routes, and we put the stands with the QR code that they can download before arrival to destination. And actually, it is very useful. Of course, the first steps is market research to see which of these options you will use and internet connection, and you need to plan the steps. And of course, after that is choosing partners for all steps that you need to pass. Investments, investment from the project. This is what we did. We find the first input of investment from the project, but we also find a model for gaining a profit. Of course, if you are a tourist organization, then all you need is just to implement the application. But if you are a private enterprise, of course, you need to find a model to gain profit. And what we did is, because in Serbia, the payment through the internet and PayPal is still on a low level, we choose our partners. The points on the routes are like are possible to make excuse me. For the tourists are possible to reserve like wineries and restaurants. They are paying fixed tax like yearly to us. So next step is creation of application, and of course you will explore all attractions in the area, and of course adjust to the segments of tourists that are more often in this area, and and this will of course bring possibility for small actors to be visible. What we can say that in these undeveloped areas, we see that we have a lot of positive impact of the application. Beside the keep of cultural and natural heritage, the most of the small actors, like because this come visible, so it is also good for the tourists for the immersive experience, because now they can see, read, and they can be included in the part of to see, like, not just storytelling. They want to be the part of some production, or they can go to winery to explore how the process of the making wines. We put some cheese production, so they can actually, they just put some domestic cakes. The people from the abroad are very keen of be the part of the process of making the cakes or something. So we have more than more positive outcomes from the application, and mobile application brought information about where the tourists, what the tourists are really wanted to see. and which gain the feedback for the future development of the destination. So this is something about content that I already mentioned. So we first, in this area, we made one application which will be offered in the most visited hotel in this area. So we will offer the tours for the tourists, and in this way we'll improve the experience in destination, but also give for first idea was just actually to make application and to give a lot of effort for the promotion. But when we find that actually is the best way to promote it on the reception desk of the most visited hotel, that keep us a lot of effort and money for promotion. So we have this content, which is walking tours, bicycle tours, car tours, and actually team building tours, which is very useful for all destinations. And we also included souvenirs and domestic products. The benefits is also for us to have this promotion on the hotel reception desk, because they can easily offer some better experience for guests and do not bother their employees with the creation of custom-made tour for guests. But also it's good for guests to have all opportunities in front of them. So what we did, we made the tours. We actually find all content for the application. We made all options for in-app booking and for making some videos in the tour during the visit. And here is some sustainability options, because of course this application will have in the content will have all cultural and heritage the wealth, but also possibility for guests to donate some investments for the monuments in the area. So it is very important for our guests to have a possibility to be included in the development of destination. And we have contacted the tourist organization to give us some inputs about the plans for the renovation of monument, and it will be one spot of the application. Also, we put all green messages to preserve the area, and during the process, we were using only green partners. So this also, and the application will give us input for the next reallocation of resources, actually for the next investment. So I wanted here to share some part of the process. Before starting, during the introduction of the application, and what was the plan in year 1, year 2, and year 3. So this is something like what you will need only if you are planning to introduce the application, and I will be more than happy to share with you all the steps if you are interested in this area. Thank you. Ruba?
Thank you very much, Anna, for this very interesting presentation. Actually, you provided us with practical information of how to develop an application for a tourism destination by defining what kind of seed investment money you need, how to make profit from this application by adopting which kind of business model. In your example, you opted for creating partnerships with your hotels and local providers. And most importantly, how to give the possibility to make visible the local entities who are usually not positioned on the touristic, let's say, landscape, and how to harness the data coming from the tourists in order to develop further the destination. So thank you very much for these very practical tips, which I believe might be of relevance to many of our SMEs in the TRACE program. And actually, our next training model is tackling the digitization and technologies in the tourism sector. Anna, if you can please stop sharing your screen. And I would like now to open the floor for questions. So if you have questions to our three speakers, I would like to kindly ask you either to post them in the chat box or to open your mic and ask your question. I'm going to read the first question here. There's a question from Sarah. Hi, everyone. Thank you to the three panelists for sharing with us their fascinating experiences.
Sorry, it's me.
Yes?
Sorry, it's me. I don't have a question, so maybe I can speak on the mic.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you for everybody. It was really a cool webinar with such a lot of ideas. I actually played Father and Son, the game made for MAN, the Archaeological Museum of Naples. So I'm Italian, so I'm in the 7% of downloaders of the app. But my question was actually quite practical and economical, in the sense that how much does the maintenance of these tools cost in respect to the investment I need to do? For instance, if I spend 100,000 euros to develop an app or a game or VR installation, whatever, in percentage, because I know that there are different tools, so they have different costs, but in percentage, how much I will need to spend on the maintenance. And when I speak about maintenance, I speak about, technical, but also by updating contents. For instance, Fabio, I've seen that you have developed a second edition of the game. So I think there was the need also to update contents, not only the technical part. Thank you.
If you want, I can start. And for sure, when we talk about medium, long-term kind of digital projects, short-term projects, totally different stuff. I mean, I'm going to create something just for 1 week or for the opening of an exhibition. Okay, there are not maintenance costs. But for example, Father and Son is available since 7 years ago. So during these 7 years, we got a lot of maintenance, but even what I call evolution, because we receive a lot of feedback for the players and we can't ignore them. So the game changed a lot in the last 7 years. So the right question is who is paying for all this? Because a lot of people are still working on it. And of course, museum has not internal technical staff. So everything is in outsourcing, but even for municipality, the same problem, because they don't have a CTO, Chief Technology Officer, inside. So for example, for Father and Son, we reached this kind of agreement. The museum paid everything for the development of the experience. So we received a certain amount of money. but for the maintenance is up to us, to my company. How? Why we decide to do that? Because the museum gave us the intellectual property of the project. So Father and Son is owned by my company, and so we are selling the game, making money in other ways. I can explain better. Of course, the game is free for the audience.
No,
but
I understand.
for example,
Okay.
we received a lot of requests from Chinese publishers. So we reboot the game or another example, a theater-based company bought the script of the game, the storytelling of the game, etc., etc., etc. So we went for free, museum, but in exchange, we got the ownership. Second route is, in other kind of project, we create sustainability through that game. That game is sold to the final user, and the money we earn is for the maintenance, of course.
I don't know if Dean or Anna would like to add something to this.
I can just share my experience because we also are adjusting to the situation. So in this first application, we made agreement with the Institute of Maths because they were the pioneers in this area, and it's easy for them to do the how to say to do the accurating of the application, because they have students and they give them like exam, and the students are doing this for exam. But with this institute, we were actually not satisfied with the designers, and that's why we changed the supplier for the for the web application. And we have found some young guys, and we included that in the contract. So they gave us offer for the making a web application and 2 years of the accurating and keep it well. And actually in the team we also have one girl which is involved in techniques, so she can do it by herself. So we do not consider this cost like something which will not possible be to afford for us. So but we knew all the thing during planning. So that is the very important. We consider this also when signing the contract. So in both cases, we knew that we will have options also to add some new spots and new options for the tourists, and to cover this cost from the first contract.
Okay, thank you.
For Anna? May I take question for Anna?
Yes, just 1 second, Maria, because I see that Geraldine also wanted to add up. Yes, Geraldine.
Yeah, just I react on my side. So we test several business models, depends of the project. To give you our first experience was with the Brussels Museum on Brussels City. In this kind, we decide to advise the museum to focus on the content and don't be owner of the application. So we make the bridge between an existing, for this case, it was a French application with already a communities who invest already in this kind of digital circuit. And the idea was to say, okay, they have the powerful of branding and communities. So like this, the museum have like a annual license. So it's more license, like when you build a website, you have some cost just to be asked to have your website. So this is the first, but the limit of this is you have like a dependence. So you have to invest in a solution that you are close from your audience we could attract audience from other countries who enter in the platform and see, oh, I go in this city, I see another. So I think it's a good, powerful side. For the balance on the budget, because we observe that more of the time the cultural stakeholders say, okay, I will invest this amount to create my content, and they completely forget that there is not only technical maintenance, but there is branding and communication. Because if you have a super project, but there is nobody who download it, it's quite a pity. So the second business model that we develop, it's with over the realities. So for this example, we are working with a gallerist. So for us, we have like a talent cohort of artists. We connect these artists with museum archives to have some agreement to let these artists create original new content inspired by archives. So it's double production, but it's not order. So it's our own initiative. And we ask authorization to a partnership museum. And in this side, it's interesting for the artists because after they have the opportunity to have revenues from Web3, the blockchain, like they sell digital assets. And in this side, I think it's great because museums have free communication about their outside world, and the artists can pay themselves. So we make the bridge, but it's like still looking, because for this time we are looking for, each time we launch this kind of project, our association was look for subsidy public budget to launch the initiative, and after when it exists, the IP keep on the artist. So for us, it's important that the IP keep on the artist, and we have the authorization for using existing archives, and after to geolocalize in a strategic place, we could make bridge with existing historical destination or museum. So we try to invite new business model with blockchain and with different revenues.
Thank you very much, Géraldine. Maria,
Thank you all.
had...
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would like to make two questions. One to Anna about the model, if there is, does exist a model applicable for tours of immersive experience, because there is a general model, or we have a specific model that we can use in the immersive experience. And for Fabio, instead, if we can use treasure hunts like experience, or like playing experience in the games that we use for destinations.
So thank you, Maria, for the question. So you asked me for the model, how we improved the experience of the guests.
Yeah.
Okay, so the improved experience comes first. You need to research the market to know the potential clients, and to research all the attractions and all the important sites in the area, and to make some offer concrete, because these areas that we were developing, there was no actually tourist products. So we had all attractions, and but not valorized actually. So we actually just put it on one place and make specialized tours. In case of the East Serbia, we have 4 tours, which are specialized and thematic tours. And here in North Serbia, we have actually 8 tours. which are suitable for walking, bicycle, and for the car. And also they give you more options to find about the history and the natural about the area. So every tour is actually made and we passed it, and we give the more value to the tour, like adding these spots where you can share the thoughts and see how the local lives, and to buy the products which are standardized and offered on the specific way. So actually that is the point for improving experience, because these areas were undeveloped. So there was no concrete tourist products to offer. So when the tourist comes to the area, it was difficult for them to find and create tours by their own. In this way, they have already created tours for them, and they could see them on the screen, which is on the reception desk of the hotel, and they can choose. They can choose which one is the most suitable for them. This is also good for the destination and for the hotel, because of course we do it all. The market research was very long, and we knew that the problem for the hotel and for the destination is how to prolong the stay of the guests. So the average stay was like 2.5 days. But with these tours, they can stay longer and they can pay more and have better experience and come again. And of course, to spread the good word about the destination and bring more tourists. Also, this web platform is also available before they come to destination, so they can easily plan trip and see the attractions and see what can they expect in destination. So actually, this is the new in destination. This was not, it didn't exist, only attractions. So now we have the tourist products, which are very valuable.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, regarding the second question, of course, is a valuable option. Treasure hunts. There are even now a lot of digital software that to construct treasure hunts, digital version or digital version without programming everything by scratch. And so absolutely they work historically, even in the physical manner. They always worked all around the cities, all around the museums, and they are even interesting to propose to a wider audience, both in real time. So you have to push people in that day, in that location, online or physical, or even in an asynchronous way. I mean, experiences that you can start whenever and wherever you want. Yeah, so definitely they works all the time. Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Other questions or comments or reflections? No, I've seen there was a question from Monica, to which Fabio answered already. So if there are no additional questions, I would like to thank you all for being here today with us. I would like to inform you that our fourth TRACE webinar, titled How to Strengthen the Enabling Environment for Circular Tourism Business and Enhance Resilience, will take place on Thursday, 21st of March, same time, so 3:35 Central European Time. I would like to thank my colleague Karen for taking care of all organizational matters. Thank you very much, Karen. And to warmly thank our three great speakers and to all of you attendees for participating and attending the webinar. If you wish to rewatch this webinar or the previous webinars, the recording of this one will be available next week on eShek's YouTube channel, and the previous two are already there. Thank you all for coming together on Zoom, and we look forward to welcoming you soon again. Thank you very much, and
Thank you
goodbye.
all. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.